Greetings and welcome to the Raw Healing YouTube channel. I'm your host here, Dragon Mama, and this is the first ever recorded episode of my brand new series, Raw Thoughts. And for our first episode, I wanted to talk a little bit about the inspiration for how I came up with the idea for this series. So at the end of this month, October, I will have been 16 months fully raw vegan. That means eating only raw fruits, vegetables, some raw nuts, and some raw seeds, but mainly mono fasting and juicing on raw fruits and raw vegetables. In fact, today is day 23 or 24. I lose count because I just have fun doing this now. It's not really as challenging anymore as it used to be. Still has its moments, but this is day 24 of my second 40-day juice fast, which, by the way, I may extend to a little bit longer beyond 40 days. But anyway, back to the subject matter at hand. The reason I wanted to start this series, Raw Thoughts, is because the journey to raw veganism changes the way you think, changes the way you feel. Our thoughts are electric, our emotions are magnetic, okay? Our thoughts that we have, when they gather and they cultivate each other, they create emotions. That's where emotion comes from. And what we don't realize sometimes is how much our thoughts are connected to our gut. And our gut is dependent on what we eat. And so many of us have mucus and plaque and parasites living in our gut that are constantly sending signals to our brain. And so therefore, when you eat unhealthy, you eat a lot of sugars and meats and dairy and whatnot, these parasites hijack the way you think, and your thoughts hijack the way you feel. And so when you remove yourself and you take away the parasite feeding foods like sugar and meat and dairy, alcohol, caffeine, everything that goes along with being a raw vegan, your thoughts and the nature of your thoughts start to change, and they start to change very, very quickly. And over the course of the last 16 months, I can honestly say that I have changed so incredibly much. I can't even begin to list all the ways that I changed. I used to wear a lot of makeup. Used to like glittery things all over my face and fancy clothes. Just not down with it anymore. Looking for the simple life. I'm looking to declutter. I'm realizing more and more and more what's real and what's important to me. Some of the realizations I've had looking at the extent to which human beings, we are an extension of nature. We are children of Mother Nature, and everything of nature follows a same or a similar pattern. And we can look to nature to find all of the answers of how we're supposed to be. But because humans, we've become so dependent and so attached to these advanced technologies and our advanced shelters and our advanced way of living that we hardly even see ourselves anymore as connections or as extensions of Mother Nature herself. And this is actually really sad, because when we look to nature, we can see that 8 million species exist on Earth, and human beings are one of the only species, besides species like vultures that are necrovores. They prey on things that have been dead for a long time. Human beings eat things that have been dead for a long time too. Your meat's been dead more than 30 days. You're really a necrovore, not a carnivore. But human beings are one of the only species on Earth that don't follow a raw diet. And coincidentally, we're also one of the only species on Earth that 70% of our population die of cancer, heart disease, or diabetes. And so many people can't see that it's the food. It's 100% the food. The food is what's making us sick. The food is the problem here. And the issue is that the food has become woven in the very fabric of our existence. The food has been woven in as an addiction of ours since a very, very young age. Have you ever thought of this? When you're a little baby, you're given cow milk. Cow milk has cow DNA. Cows are a herd animal. The more cow milk and dairy that you consume, the more of a herd animal you become. So human beings were bred to become herd animals since a very, very, very young age. And that means that since a very young age, we just eat what everybody else is eating. We do what everyone else is doing. We watch our parents and our grandparents get sick, and we don't put two and two together that it's from our diet, because all the other animals in nature, guess what? They're not having these extreme medical tests and removing organs and doing all these complex things. And many animals in nature are living long, healthy lives because they eat in alignment with what Mother Nature wants for them, which is a raw diet. And the longer you stay on a raw diet, the more thoughts like this you start to have, the more you start to see the truth, and more you start to see that the most intense prong that is stuck in the back of humans is the food programming. And a lot of time we talk about how people are programmed, their minds are programmed, they can't see the truth, and people go through a spiritual awakening. Well, guess what? I've been a spiritual teacher and involved in the spiritual work or industry. I've hosted over 150 spiritually and emotional alchemy based events around the world since 2016, and I spent time a little bit unhealthy and gaining weight. And I look back at the version of myself as a spiritual teacher and leader when I was fat and overweight before I was raw, and I see that I didn't see. Okay. And so a lot of people on a spiritual journey don't realize that the most spiritual thing that you can do for yourself is to embark upon the raw vegan journey. And so the purpose of me releasing this series of episodes, I should say, called Raw Thoughts, is just to share the nature of some of the thoughts and the way that my mind is changing, the way my mind is working as a spiritual teacher and a leader, as a healer, as a coach, as someone who's been working in helping and serving others for over a decade now. The journey to raw veganism has changed my life more than absolutely anything else that I've ever done, more than any of the shadow work, more than any of the alchemy, because what happens when you take on the raw diet is when you can't chew, when you can't satiate yourself, and when you can't give yourself endorphins and pleasure and dopamine and release all those hormones by engaging in lots of flavor and all these things that are harming ourselves and hurting ourselves. When you can't do that, you don't have the ability to do that, all of the emotions that are trapped and suppressed and buried deep inside of you, they come to the surface, and you have to either face them or you become weak and you coddle them with food. In my case, luckily, I've been strong. I've been very strong. I've been strong for 16 months, and it's changed me, and I can never unsee the things that I've seen, and I can never unchange the ways that I've changed. And I'm here to share with you what this journey is like and support you as well on your journey. I just want to say, for anyone watching, check the links associated with my YouTube channel. You can download my free ebook, Green Juice for the Win, which almost has 1,000 downloads, and start your green juice healing journey today. I also have released a brand new 12-week program, which you can enroll in. You'll be able to work with me one-on-one for 12 weeks, personalized lectures, talk to text, voice calls, the works. There's a link to that as well. You can also join my raw healing community. I've got join my email list. All those links are available here in my YouTube channel. You can leave me a comment on this video asking me what you'd like to hear more about. For now, I plan on releasing at least one episode a week of Raw Thoughts, if not 2 episodes a week with Raw Thoughts. I'd like to hear your comments and feedback, of course, on all of the things that I talk about. This is the end of the first episode. I just wanted to come here and introduce the subject matter. Raw thoughts are just the thoughts that come up as a result of living a raw life. And remember, raw, it doesn't just mean what we eat. Raw is who we are becoming. And this is a saying that I introduced in my Chinese spiritual community in the last couple months. Raw is not just what we're eating, it's who we are becoming, because eating raw makes you raw. Raw means real. It means pure. It means not distorted from its original form. And so to become raw means that we're losing all the parts of us that are a facade, that are unreal. And I know that's exactly what's happened to me in my journey. And I look forward to assisting you and supporting you and loving you on your journey as well. This was episode 1. Much love, everyone. Until next time.